Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. Okay, cheap steel from for strikers. Just bought this beauty. W2 I got from Gameco, which is a steel merchant here in Australia. It's ridiculous. This is actually 9.5 mil thick W2, or 375 2-inch by 48-inch. So yeah, magnificent piece of steel that I bought on special. It's a $200 piece of steel. I got it for $99 Australian. So this is why I say, advocate, always look for steel on special, because you can get some really good specials. I don't know how this is going to go, because I actually measured it, and yeah, that there measured 9.8 mils thick. So yeah, it's supposed to be 9.5s, but yeah, it measured it 9.8 mils, 9.9 mil thick. So yeah, it's mighty thick piece of metal. That's my 6.5 mil. As you can see, yeah, it dwarfs that. So my arm's going to fall off trying to bloody bend that. And that is the 4.75 mil thick, and it's, yeah, at least twice as thick as that. So yeah, I knew what I was buying when I bought it, but yeah, being the 2 inches wide, 50 mil, it's actually 52.5 mil. I was talking to Jack about it. We're going to cut it down the middle, because we normally only like them half. So that's why for 99, yeah, it was $99, so $100 for the thing. I'm going to be able to cut it down the middle. I'm basically getting 2 lots of steel for that price. Because if you look, you get 2 strikers out either side, so you're getting 2 lots of strikers out of there. How many strikers am I getting for that length? So I'm going to get 2 lots of that, because it's 48 inches long, 1.2 meters long each. So I'm getting 2.4 meters of length of steel for it. Yeah, so I don't know, as far as the strike thickness is going to be incredible, but Jack also said he has a mate that has, I think, a press. I think he's got a press or a power hammer, one of the two, that he's going to run it through and might be able to thin it out a bit, because yeah, it's just ridiculously thick. But anyway, I am going to make 1 or 2 strikers out of it at the full 9.9 or whatever, 9.8 mil thick one, and I'm going to make a couple of the square ones, rectangular ones, cut some holes in it, because they're really good too. Yeah, so, but that's, if you're into you got the ability to forge, and you can yeah, always look for your steel merchants, because they do. I've had really good success with this W2. It's got really good carbon content, and it's water quenchable. So I don't know, with Gameco, they've got really good quality control, because I think this stuff comes from America, and yeah, their quality control on the W2 is really good, and it yeah, the carbon content can be up to 1.5%, which is what you really want. You're looking for as much carbon as you can get into it for strikers, because that's basically what causes the sparks, as far as I know, that and the hardness. So yeah, and because you can water quench it, it's water quenchable, because that's what the W stands for. Is yeah, it's a fantastic steel. Definitely not for beginners as far as knife making goes, because you can get cracks in it. 'Cause when you're making a knife, obviously, you when you're grinding the bevels on it, you obviously grind it down to such a fine fine point on the edge, and then when you put it in the quench tank, you're quenching it in water, you'll crack it. But because the strikers are so thick, water quenching it, you don't run the risk of cracking it as often. So yeah, that's why this isn't as dramarous when you water quench it. But yeah, definitely if you're looking for cheap steel, just I peruse Gameco every so often. I never buy my steel at full price from them because yeah, it's just like for $200. It's well worth the price at $200, but when you can buy it at half price, like I've bought every piece of steel so far at half price. So yeah, that's certainly well worth the effort. But also you've got to definitely learn what the way they say, because when I first bought it, because they'll say what steel it is, then the thickness, how wide it is, and then how long it is. I really didn't know what the name of the steel was, like exactly what it was all about. So yeah, just learn about it first as you were doing it, because otherwise, yeah, you'll end up buying the wrong type. It'll be the wrong thickness or the wrong lengths or whatever. Yeah, just do a little bit of research is my suggestion, because otherwise you'll end up paying for something you don't need or don't want, or it'll be the wrong type or whatever, which I didn't necessarily do that at first. Thankfully I had Jack to lean on a bit, because yeah, he was very knowledgeable, and he talked me through a lot of it. So yeah, which was good. But yeah, he did say that this is going to be hard because it's so thick. Just swear, yeah, it'll take a lot of hammering. But hopefully we'll be able to put it through. I think he's got a mate with a press, power press, and it'll be able to thin it out a bit, I hope. But anyway, yeah, it should be interesting anyway. But yeah, certainly it is a magnificent lump of metal. But anyway, yeah, just that's a good way of getting good steel, because I like being able to buy the files, but sometimes they don't work. Whereas if you're buying from a steel merchant, it is a known quality item. You know you're buying whatever. If you're buying 1075 or W2, excuse me, because that's what I'd suggest. Those are the two steels I'd suggest you're buying if you're buying it from a steel merchant. Would be those two types of steel, because they have the same same quenching protocols, and I've used both of them before to make strikers, and they both work fantastically for it. I favour W2 because I've had really good success. I've bought, I think this is my 4th bar of W2. Last 3 bars have worked. I've made, I don't know, 20 or 30 strikers, and every one of them sparks very well. Yeah, as good as any one that I let's say even on a blunt edge. My quartzite always gets blunted, but yeah, the W2 sparks really well. Just shower sparks if you do your job on a sharp edge. But yeah, that's indicative normally of the W2. So most people have seen, if they've been watching my channel for a while, seen my W2 strikers. They pretty good strikers. But anyway, yeah, that's my suggestion if you're going for steel. Yeah, definitely check your steel merchants out for cheap steel. They often run a special on W2 because it's a tool steel. This is what they make files out of, or most tools for files and that sort of thing. They tend to, that or 1095, which is very similar steel to W2 or W1, which is basically the same thing, slightly different. But yeah, and if you're going to buy files, I suggest going to the markets, your local markets. That's where I get mine from. But and yeah, files are a little bit different. They it's harder because sometimes they don't work, which I found out with that. Even though I found that Wiltshire file the other day, the rasp, it just wouldn't spark very well. So yeah, even though Wiltshire files are old, so yeah, Jack said it may have been case hardened. So, and case hardened files, they just don't spark. So yeah. Anyway, that's my suggestion on W2. Yeah, you can get some good specials, like half price steel, and especially 50mm stuff, because you normally make your fire strikers about 1 inch or 25mm, and if you get 50mm stock, you can cut it in half. I just use an angle grinder, and I cut mine down. I don't cut it because I can't cut straight, but yeah, I get Lawson or Jack to cut it straight because they can tend to be able to do it straight, and yeah, you get double the length out of it. So anyway, thanks for watching.